Good morning. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. Today, we are going to be eating and working out. Starting off, this is actually my second cup of coffee, but prepared exactly like the first one.
So she's having cups of coffee, great mix there. I would go without the creamer though, because that would be breaking my fast, and I do fasting and OMAD. Just quietly, this is lean beef patty, what she eats in a day and how she works out. I'd be interested to see how much consumption this little chick has in her diet, how much food she eats, because she's quite short, diminutive, I guess you would say. And she also has a pretty ghetto backyard, and I didn't mind the Crocs that she wore at the start too. So let's check out what she eats and how she works out. Right, guys.
Next on the agenda, after I have been satisfied with my coffee consumption, will be breakfast. Breakfast these days are pretty boring. I always wish I was one of those people that made really aesthetic, attractive meals, but I just simply cannot bring myself to care. So they usually are ugly. And we'll be seeing more of that today. Okay, first meal of the day.
Yeah, she's got the scales out, so that's a good start. She's at least weighing her food. Let's see what she's gonna eat.
Oatmeal. This one is protein oatmeal. I usually get regular oatmeal, but this was in the house, so big ups. I found whenever I use a microwave, it causes some people distress. If you don't like the microwave, if you're afraid of the waves, cook it on the stove.
Yeah, I've never understood why people are so frightened of the microwave. It's good to see that she's got scales out, and judging by how much water she put in there, maybe like half a cup. And usually whenever I make oats, it's like the same quantity of water as it is oats. So I'm assuming like half a cup of oats. Let's see if she actually tells us.
Protein powder of choice. Today I have Grill of Mine cinnamon churro. Yummy.
More protein with the protein oats.
Bee pollen. I saw a video somewhere talking about all the benefits of bee pollen. I don't remember any of them, but I hope I'm getting them. And honey, pro life hack, if you have allergies, invest in some local honey. That should help with your allergies, or so I hear. I don't have allergies. I also don't have local honey. Last thing I've been doing recently, collagen peptides. Makes for a tasty beverage and potential reaping of other benefits. I do it for the tasty beverage aspect though. First meal of the day!
Yeah, she's right. I mean, it doesn't look fancy, but that's probably what most of us eat in a meal. It's not always about Instagram and YouTube, but what I would say is it seems like a very high protein meal, and I would also think that if you're using protein oats and protein powder, which has usually got flavoring in it, and you're adding honey and syrup, she must have a heck of a sweet tooth. That would probably be a really sweet breakfast. And then I don't know what that collagen drink is, but I'm imagining it probably tastes like cordial or Kool-Aid as well. So anyway, looks like a pretty decent sized breakfast.
What in tarnation is that? What is that?
I don't know that I want to watch her eat, so I might just skip ahead to some workout stuff.
Definitely has a flavor. I don't think it's a good one. Ooh, there.
Like I said, I skipped ahead. We didn't miss much. She mucked around eating that porridge for about 4 minutes. So anyway, let's see what's happening at the gym.
Okay, we made it. We're at the gym. I'm going to prepare my pre-workout that I will drink while warming up. And a little bit tasty treat during the workout, even though you should have it like 30 minutes before. I mostly just take it for the creatine, which doesn't really matter what time you take it, so whatever. Grill of Mine, nitric, no stim. That's how I like it, non-stimulated. Oh my gosh, 2 scoops. And also liquid glycerol, no grainy texture because it's a liquid. Don't drink it by itself though. I tried to do that once and it is so much thicker than I thought it was gonna be. Muy bien, listos. Okay, warm.
Okay, I'm not necessarily a gym rat, so a lot of that stuff meant nothing to me except for like the creatine. I never really drink pre-workout or any other kind of supplements except for some protein powder, mainly because I've always been told don't drink your calories. So I'm assuming that if she's drinking that calorie, she can afford to have it in her diet. And now she's going to do some cardio, and going to drink that basically sugar water the whole time she's working out. So let's check out her workout.
On the assault treadmill. Spooky. 5 to 10 minutes, you know the drill. Now for a wee bit of mobility. Ooh, this band is way too tough. Where'd all the other bands go? Oh.
So good on her for doing mobility work. I find like as a bloke, as a man, like you don't see men doing a lot of mobility work, and that's probably to our detriment. It's just probably seen as like not cool or whatever. So good on her for doing mobility work. I definitely will try to do more mobility work because my shoulders are getting worse and worse with every passing moon, and there's the pain of blistering knives being stabbed into them just when I roll around in bed, for example. Not that I do a lot of rolling around in bed. That's another story. Anyway, let's check out the workout. It's good. The mobility work's done. 10 minutes of cardio, so not a huge amount of calories burned yet. We'll see what happens in this workout.
The exercise number 1 for the day, lat pull downs.
Is this a back workout? I don't know. Does she do bro splits? We'll see.
I was watching some of this Jeff Nippard video that was talking about how, like, this certain type of pretty much partial rep, it was called something else though, it was like doing it only in the lengthened position. It was like a long rep. There's been a lot of studies that show it's actually more effective than even a full range of motion rep. So that's something to think about, huh?
I actually watched the same video, probably heaps of you have. It was all about doing like that last negative kind of part of the rep depending on the exercise, and it's all around getting maximum time under tension. And what Jeff was doing was basically do your full set, and then in those reps where you can't get a full rep, don't be afraid to do as many partial reps as you can until you're absolutely gassed. So I thought it was pretty cool. It's awesome that she's also watched it, so that's pretty random.
An example of a long rep in lat pull down. This is the long one. This is a short one. This is a full one.
Look at that tone in her back. She's pretty strong, hey?
So I think I might just do some sets of long today.
Four sets of 10 reps, and she's doing those long kind of partials just to put tension on her back.
I know that a lot of people train for different things. That research was specifically on like hypertrophy, so building bigger muscles, not necessarily strength training or endurance training or any other type of training. Yeah. Next, we're rocking with a little single arm row action, single arm cable row. Let's go.
Yeah, so it looks like she's going to do like a full back day. She's got a pretty good physique in terms of like shoulders wider than her hips, which, you know, most females probably don't go for that kind of physique, but I think it actually looks quite good on her body at least. And she's obviously put a lot of work in to build that physique. Good on her.
Slow control. Next, we will be doing some biceps. Begin. Ow! Yo!
Slow and control, like for a small person, she's got 20-pound dumbbells. She's doing it nice and slow. She's going to be a pretty strong little girl, actually. A little lady, I shouldn't say girl.
And finally, we're going to do some rear delt flies on this here machine.
I friggin' hate this machine, just FYI. I don't know, do you guys like this one?
All right, workout complete. Now I will be enjoying 2 rice cakes because I figured I'd be a little bit in the need of a snack. Here we go.
So she's just raw dogging 2 rice cakes. So if you're keeping tally like me, she had oats for breakfast with some protein, had a bunch of that sugar water as a sort of pre/intra workout, couple of rice cakes. You're looking at about 150 calories. So yeah, not eating a lot. I don't know how much was in that pre-workout. It's probably 400 calories worth of carbohydrates, and rice cakes is pure carbs as well. So, and just raw dogging it like that. I wonder if they're flavored.
Delicious and dry. Next is probably gonna be lunch, unless I decide to have another snack somewhere along the way. And here we are, home once again, getting ready for one of my favorite little meals, canned tuna. Step 1, canned tuna. Step 2, uncan the tuna.
Finally, someone else eats canned tuna. Yeah, I think it's a great source of protein. It's super easy. A lot of people hate on tuna because of the flavor. I actually think it tastes pretty good and it's super convenient. So big ups. But I mean, just going back to the workout, it was 10 minutes of cardio, maybe a little bit of stretching, and then I counted lat pull downs, single arm rows, and then that back fly thing and curls. So not a huge volume of work there, which surprises me how you get such a good physique with not a lot of volume of work.
Condiment time. I like mayonnaise, mustard, relish, classic tuna setup.
This is so cool because this is like basically my exact tuna setup, except sometimes I will have mustard and hot sauce, and I'll go without the mayonnaise, and sometimes I'll do mustard and relish.
A wee touch of garlic salt. Delicious. What better to accompany our delicious tuna meal other than tortilla chips? And the piece à resistance, a carrot.
I don't know, maybe we could call this sailor's nachos. That's a pretty decent little lunch. I wouldn't say that's like a full meal, though. That's more like a snack. But again, she's fairly petite person, probably would be full off 1 can of tuna. A lot of people I know would not be full from 1 can of tuna, the old sailor's nachos.
Muy bien. Every single time I eat tuna, I think about the possibility of mercury poisoning. Not because I eat that much tuna, but because when I was in 5th grade, my teacher told us all a story about how she ate tuna every single day for lunch. And then after a while, she got mercury poisoning and thought she was dying. I think about that now every time I eat tuna. If you've ever gotten mercury poisoning, please comment below. Tell me about your experience, as I do not believe I have experienced it myself, but I may have.
Cool story. That's one of the perils of being at the top of the food chain. Mercury bioaccumulates in the environment. I'm an ecologist. It's such a dorky thing that I actually know what she's talking about. And you know, all the little krill eat the metals, and then the bigger fish eat the krill, and then the tuna come along and eat all the sardines, and then the mercury from all those different animals accumulates in the tuna, and then we come along and eat the tuna. So therefore, if you eat a lot of tuna, you're going to get a lot of mercury. Go figure. The other commonplace is in Australia when you have fish and chips, mate. You get a thing called flake, which is actually just shark meat. And of course, a shark is an apex predator. So if the tuna is going to have mercury, you can guarantee the shark's going to have mercury. And a lot of people are having really high mercury results because they're eating a lot of fish and chips with flake. There you go. Cool story. Moving on.
Carrot. These kind of carrots are the best. Even better than this, the 50-pound bags of carrots you can get from like animal feed stores, best carrots in the world. Oh my gosh, something about the dirt on those carrots just makes them taste immaculate.
Carrot is an underrated food, and it's really good for your getting full, and the fiber really helps, keep you regular. And you can see in the dark if you eat enough carrots. Google it.
All right, we're back. It's time to make beef. Let's go. Here I have rice from 2 days ago. When I ordered Thai food, I'm just gonna heat that up, but pro hack, ice cube in there, keeps it from getting dry. Microwave. Lovely. Beef.
So I've been keeping like a mental tally. Let's say 400 calories for the pre-workout, about 250 calories for the oats with protein, maybe 300, 700 calories. That lunch of tortilla chips and tuna, the old sailor's tacos, probably only another 400 calories. That's a pretty decent amount of ground beef, maybe 300 grams. I don't know, that's probably 500 calories worth of ground beef, and then half a cup of rice, which would only be 200 calories. So we're probably sitting around about 1,500 calories, which is a pretty reasonable quantity of food. And like I said, I don't think she worked out overly hard. It'd be interesting to see what she does throughout the day. Does she sit around, watch TV? Is she a gamer? Is she out and about on her feet? She's clearly not landscaping her backyard, so that was a nice little dig. Anyway.
Assorted steamed vegetables. Okay. Lastly, some milk.
Yeah, that's a pretty classic little meal. I've eaten that exact meal hundreds of times ever since I moved out of home at like 17 as a student. So, ground beef and vegetables and rice, great meal. Raw dog and some milk though. Look, I love my milk, but if I raw dog that glass of milk, I'd be hugging the bowl for like the rest of the evening, which is not very nice. I can tell you right now.
No, this is non-fat milk, which is extremely mediocre. Every once in a while, you just really need a glass of milk. Only my lactose tolerant people will get that. Okay, I'm back. It's a few hours later. I'm gonna have some ice cream. This one was on sale. It was only like $3. So how could you not? Also, tiny story time. Not really, but kinda. So I went for a walk at the time. I think it was like 7 p.m. So it's quite dark out here where I live now at that time. It's dark. I'm aware. I walk at night. I was wearing a white jacket. Even then, I don't assume people are gonna see me, but I was making my way back, and there's these two particular intersections that I'm always very cautious of because for whatever reason, no one ever sees you if you're walking. They don't see you. They will hit you. I have almost been hit at these two particular intersections a handful of times. Anyway, I thought this was not one of those times. I'm walking, and I see this car approaching. This is the way the intersection is, okay. Main street, intersecting street that has a stop sign. The crosswalk situation is kind of sketchy. It's like, is there a crosswalk there? Is there not a crosswalk there? There kind of has to be by assumption because it's just like this huge break in the road where it's like sidewalk, street, sidewalk. But the roads really aren't that busy where you should.
I've listened to this for far too long. I'm going to skip ahead and see if she's eating anything else.
Taking note. I usually wait for the cars to go anyway, but they were stopped for so long. That was crazy.
Wow, she's still talking about the car story.
Back to the ice cream. I don't think I'm gonna measure this. I was going to, because I've been like measuring everything else, but I'm just like not in the measuring mood. You know what I mean? Like I just want to eat. I just want to have a tasty little treat. It's not that serious to me. So I'm just going to enjoy this tasty treat and not really worry about it. I don't really feel like weighing it. I just feel like eating as much as I feel like eating. I feel relatively in tune with my body at the moment. So I'm not afraid of like binging or anything. Pretty good. Haagen-Dazs definitely has a distinct flavor from Ben & Jerry's though. One thing I will say about measuring, because I don't really like do it that intensely, sometimes I just measure to know. Not that I even care, I just like kind of like knowing, but I would never do anything about it. Like I wouldn't change it, I just like to know. It's not for everybody, but it can be helpful for some. For some people who just have no idea what they're eating and what is right for them, it can be very helpful. For other people, it can be very destructive and lead you down a dark, dangerous path of struggle. So I'm not gonna advise you one way or the other. I'm gonna just say, try it, don't try it. Whatever you do, don't let it one way or the other, whether you do it or not, don't let it control you to the point where your life is horrible.
Yeah, true. I mean, if you're going to get compulsive about anything, you don't want to be compulsive about measuring weight in your food. But I think one of the big things that I need to, not necessarily measure and weigh, is just sort of like things can be deceptively different values in terms of calories for the same portion. Take that ice cream, for example. I don't know what that is, but she said Ben and Jerry's. If we had, we bought this one with the kids the other night. It was called a candy cane, one of those Christmas special ones, right? For one serve was 350 calories. And that's the big number, 350 calories. And you're thinking, oh yeah, one serve, like a serve of ice cream. I don't know about you, but if I have a serve of ice cream, I'm having like a bowl of ice cream. But then you look a little bit closer, and one serve is like 3/4 of a cup. So bam. You're not even having a full cup and you've had 350 calories. And that's where it gets hard for people who aren't measuring and weighing, who aren't intuitive and perhaps can't tolerate a lot of calories. And you're not necessarily binging, but you're accidentally overeating a lot. The other thing is, we went and got another type of ice cream, which was like a yogurt-based ice cream. I forget the name of it. It's very common here in Canada. But it was delicious, and it was a blackjack cherry. It just tasted like ice cream. It didn't taste like yogurt at all. And for the same volume, for a cup and 3/4 of a cup, it was 180 calories. So half of the calories of this other ice cream. Equally as delicious, equally as fancy. So therefore I can have a little bit bigger serve and I can probably afford it. So yeah, that's the reason I measure and weigh and read the labels, because you can get tricked by hidden fat, hidden sugar, all that sort of stuff in the food. But I mean, you're eating ice cream, you're kind of expecting that it's a bad food or it's got a high calories, so it's nice to know that you can find some lower calorie options. I just wish, like, a lot of people make out that it's easy to keep in a caloric deficit without weighing and measuring your food all the time, and you can intuitively eat and etc. etc. For the majority of people, that's just not true, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm not going to whinge about it. It's just the way it is.
Not worth it. Not worth it. I've also been getting the like regular ice cream instead of like those diet ice creams, you know what I mean? Like the protein, low calorie ice creams. Because sometimes you just need the real thing. I'm gonna get something to add to this. Cool Whip! I just know someone in the comments is gonna be like, Patty, that's made with oil. I know. I know what it's made from. Just a tasty little treat. Tasty little oil treat on occasion. That's how much I ate. I like eating around the sides of it because it melts a little faster on the side. And I like when it's a little melted. Extra texture. But I think that's where I'm going to call it. I think I'm done eating for the day. I wasn't even really sure if I wanted that ice cream before I had it because I wasn't like physically that hungry. Then I was like, just a little nibble, just a little something. And it was really good. So I'm happy that I was able to share that experience with you. And I hope you also enjoyed it.
See, I don't know about you guys. I wish I had the self-control to have just a little nibble. If I said I'm going to open that punnet of ice cream, that's all she wrote for that punnet of ice cream. She gone. I ain't sharing that either. Anyway.
Last thing I would like to say is this was for entertainment purposes only. Please do not try to emulate this exactly. It will not work for you and it probably will not benefit you in any way. Except for maybe if you like one of the snacks or meal ideas that I had, even though in my opinion they weren't all that creative. But maybe it's something new to you that you'd like to try. That's great. That's kind of what I would want other than just for entertainment purposes. But I in no way, shape, or form made this video wanting someone to try to copy exactly what I eat in a day, because even I do not eat this way every single day.
I'm glad she clarified it was for entertainment purposes and that maybe we want to try some of the meals. For example, Sailor's Tacos are going to take off. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed my reaction. It would be really helpful if you could like and subscribe and share this video. And if you have any other videos you want me to react to, drop a note in the comment. And if you want the recipe for Sailor's Tacos, reach out. I'm sure I can whip one up for you.